Welcome to Side B.
We are picking up at Chapter 27, Meeting Maz. That is 54 minutes and 14 seconds into the film. All right, at the end of my countdown, go ahead and pick up. At 3, 2, 1, go.
This planet here, it just looks awesome. Like all the water and all the land, it just kind of, you don't have like Earth, you know, we just have large giant chunks of land. This place, it looks like the land covers the entire planet, but the water is just kind of intertwined within it.
Can I get a timeshare here?
And here we're about to see the cantina of the
Episode 7.
Force Awakens. The what?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you're right, because I mean that would have pretty much been one of the only few moments that Han could have like made a judgment call that okay, he's definitely not part of the Resistance.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
bullshitting.
He knows.
I mean, just the look on Finn's face when he's like, Finn's a member of the Resistance. He just kind of gets, he kind of shrinks down a little, like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I know those guys.
And I'm a Jedi. I just want Han Solo's jacket.
He's just right back in the captain's seat.
Yep.
Never mind, it hasn't been in his
Like,
possession.
you got my shit back. You know what? I'm an opportunity. Leave the guy with an injured arm to do all the repairs. He's a dick sometimes.
It's not my fault.
You think Chewie wants to go in there, you know, see his girlfriend?
Maybe that's why he didn't go.
He's like, yeah, can you go in there for me? Every time she sees me, she's just like, Chewie this, Chewie that.
The Death Watch flag. As
Yeah,
well as the Mandalorian.
And the 501st.
Yeah.
That's cool that they kind of had all those just kind of placed throughout there, because it's one of those things that you can't really take in all at once when you first see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when you first see it and you recognize a couple of them, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I definitely, when I first saw it, the one that stood out was the Mandalorian flag.
Yeah.
If you look real close, you'll spot Anakin's flag from the pod races as well.
Oh, cool.
That's one of the first ones that caught my eye.
Here we go. First thing she says to Han, "Where's my boyfriend?"
What a great character.
Yeah,
I hope
this
Mark
guy.
shows back up.
Is he Trandoshan?
I don't know. Let's check it out.
The clothing was kind of, it looked Trandoshan.
Didn't sound like she said all that much.
Yeah. This was such a big
Yeah.
reveal right here for me.
The music.
And then the helmet.
Yeah. Just bringing that in, just very subtle, but it was nice.
Have you guys actually heard what that like thing of ashes that Kylo keeps his helmet in is?
Isn't it like the ashes of people?
Ashes
The
of
people
his
he killed.
victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like somebody
Dark.
give this kid a therapist.
Right?
I think Maz was around during the Clone Wars.
It's definitely possible.
Well, I was actually going to ask you guys because Han says she's been running it for 1,000 years. Does he mean that literally or figuratively?
Mm.
What's this?
So interested in her backstory.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how the hell she got that lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right?
How does she know so much about the Force?
That's another thing. From the trailer, we see, I think it was her give it to Leia and not Rey.
Mm-hmm. And then because Leia was originally going to give it to Rey, I believe. I'm reading that somewhere.
Yeah.
And J.J. Abrams said that he actually modeled Maz after one of his old teachers from school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like the whole kind of big glasses, the vest, little slouch over, all the bracelets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I took all that from one of his teachers.
That's awesome.
Okay, so it took me a minute, Sean, to find it because I had to do some searching. But the guy in Maz's castle, he is a Groomgar. Groomgar and Bazine are those two.
Okay.
Groomgar is the big guy, and Bazine is the chick.
Makes you wonder what like they put Finn through
Right,
while he was with the First Order.
yeah, because he stands by. He's like, nope, I'm not going back.
It's like I'd rather die than go back.
Yeah. So I mean, it just goes to show that what they did to
Stuff
them
like
as they were
that.
raising them is bad, and then he also knows what's probably going to happen to him if they get him back.
I don't even remember the first time they did the Force for Change thing when whoever they picked the name out of the hat would have a part.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who won, his scene was in this part, and I think they cut it. and he didn't. He wasn't. You didn't actually get to see him.
Oh, I thought he was a stormtrooper.
No, I think he was talking about he was in this
Mm-hmm.
in the cantina.
Yeah, because I think they had him on Rebel Force. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Because they interviewed him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah. Who's ready for an emotional roller coaster?
I like how it's silent, and then you just get the opening of the chest.
You know that's Obi-Wan's chest from A New Hope.
I don't know if that is. I thought the chest Obi-Wan had was bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a larger chest.
Ah.
You get to hear Luke. That was Constable Zuvio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was him?
I think so.
So he was in the movie.
Love how they got Alec Guinness. They sound bite.
Yeah, they like snipped some old audio and
He was
merged it together.
he was saying afraid.
Yeah, and they just took the Ray out of Afraid.
And then they got Ewan McGregor to do a couple little bits like, these are your first steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they actually originally had James Arnold Taylor who does Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
They called him in and he did some lines, but they actually were able to get a hold of McGregor, so they brought him in as well.
Keeping her Ray's backstory secret.
Yeah,
Han just told Maz
everything.
everything.
So like we just wanted to stay there just for a few seconds in that conversation with Maz and Han.
Yeah.
Because Han just acts like throughout the whole thing, he just looks at her in a way that if he didn't know her before that day, he wouldn't look at her like that. You know what I'm saying?
He knows shit.
Yeah, he knows.
Or he thinks he knows something, and he starts piecing things together. Maybe.
She looked funny running.
Okay, this is some Nazi stuff right here.
Oh,
Clearly, yeah.
it's just the scale is just. Look at all these troops. Not to mention how many Star Destroyers they've got out
Oh,
in the
yeah.
galaxy going around,
They got pickles. They knew they were going to be made into action figures.
Hail Hydra. That sound effect.
Right, that it's like that big huge bass drop, just boom.
Makes you think, was this being built during the Empire? And they kept it super hush hush?
Like it was like a plan that they had, but it took a lot of resources and a lot of time to build.
Yeah.
Maybe it was something Snoke was doing behind the scenes that he contracted certain members of the Empire to help with.
Yeah.
But they kept it hush-hush from the Emperor and Vader.
Actually, we've got 30 years between Return and this.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, a lot of space to fill.
Yeah.
This is not Coruscant, in case you were wondering.
It makes me think when Vulcan is destroyed in Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
but like quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
See the alien in the back with his vape?
The fish head.
He just brought his vape with him. Like, I'm gonna watch planets get destroyed while I vape.
Or was it a lightsaber hilt?
Oh, yeah.
And see her garb, like her whole outfit, it just says Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I crazy? Does that not
No.
like, kind of resemble like a tunic to you?
No, you're crazy.
Okay.
Even the like her like the bun things kind of call back to the Padawan braid.
Mm-hmm. I saw this one.
That shot, Apocalypse Now.
Right. Totally a nod.
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
There we go. I'm not gonna tell you how I got this lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're just leaving all this stuff open.
Well, it doesn't just leave you open. It like I love how Maz flat out says a good question for another time.
It's like there's more important things to talk about right now.
Yeah. These dudes are coming down on us, and they're not going to stop until they get what they want.
But before we knew that Rey wasn't Leia's kid, someone had did this post saying proof that Rey is Leia's kid, and it showed Padme from the prequels with one bun, and it showed Leia with two buns, and then it showed Rey with her three buns. I was like, no, people in the galaxy far, far away are just all about those updos.
Right? All about buns.
And like, just look at all this destruction that's already went on.
It's the Star Wars equivalent of Weathertop. I'm just saying it now.
The trooper, the voices that you hear are not the people in the suit. You just heard, I believe it was David Collins. If you don't know who he is, he was the voice of Proxy in the Force Awakens, or Force Unleashed. I'm sorry.
Oh,
the
nice.
video game? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I know Kevin Smith's one of the Stormtroopers. That was badass.
So I guess it's just Maz is since she's not Force sensitive, she's just like a Force follower.
Yeah, just like the tribe, the village.
At the beginning in Jakku, yeah.
Yeah, because like Max von Sydow is like a Force priest, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love how the bowcaster has just like jumped up to like god tier Star Wars weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This guy.
All it took was one word, and this guy has a backstory.
Yep.
This guy is the most badass character.
It just goes to show you, like, this dude, he got brainwashed hard. He thinks everything that the First Order's doing is right, and that Finn is just crazy. So he's going after him.
You know what it says to me is it says personal. This says personal written all over it.
Yeah, because
They trained together.
Yeah, they trained together.
Ouch.
And look, Finn shows no remorse.
He didn't even care.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
get me
like-
out of here.
I've got new friends now.
Yeah, he's like separated himself completely from the First Order.
The technology the First Order has now, like, you can tell how big of an impact the previous movies had. But the fact that they have a weapon that can combat a lightsaber now is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's a nice touch.
The black X-Wing. Love it.
Beautiful.
It's so slick looking.
And it's the only one painted different.
Mm-hmm.
I get a slight Top Gun vibe from Poe in that moment. I love it.
You got my back, Goose. He gets like 20 kills in the matter of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I play Battlefront with him? Because I suck at the air battle stuff.
Yeah, see, this would be an awesome level for Battlefront. But they'll probably add it into the next one.
Yeah.
Or they'll make you pay $60 for DLC.
Yeah.
Good old EA.
Finn gets a blaster, and that's home for him.
Yeah.
We just follow Poe all the way around, just watching him just kick ass.
And it's like
I like how they
5 or
don't
6,
cut.
Yeah.
7, just boom, just
It's like, this is how Star Wars does a little one shot.
That it just showcases to you like this. He literally is the top pilot of the Resistance, and here's why.
Yep.
And their first meeting right here.
Kind of reminds you like when Vader shows up to Luke in the cave on Dagobah.
Oh, I was gonna say the Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not a Jedi yet. That lightsaber is badass.
it feels much more menacing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the fact that it's unstable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Looks like it's about to explode at any second.
Right there. I think that's David Collins. Sleep.
And like right there, he can just make people just pass out. Like, I can't wait to see how far this character goes.
I really want him and Luke to duel at some point.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see just how powerful Luke is at this point, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Props to the camera operator for not falling down, jumping over that rubble.
Yeah.
Kylo's ship kind of reminiscent of the Imperial shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's just instead of having that center, it's just got the kind of that V shape.
Yeah. Han's like, I don't care. I'm about to see my woman.
He's like, I've got a lot of explaining to do.
We'll get back to her.
And right here, see, this right here was the moment I realized, okay, Rey isn't his child, because he straight up just says, "Screw you, Finn, and your girl problems. I've got my lady
I've got
right
my
here."
own.
So if that was his kid, he probably would have shown more emotion
Yeah,
toward it.
more concern.
Anthony Daniels.
This is the perfect way to do
Especially
3PO.
Read the comics. They just had an issue explaining why his arm is red.
Merchandising.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not gonna go into detail. Just go by the comic.
It's a good little story there.
Yeah.
You know, people were giving Carrie Fisher a lot of grief by how she looks in this movie. I think she looks great.
Yeah, she definitely.
She pulls
She
off her
cut down.
character.
Yeah.
I mean, her
She's still
character-
got that sweet but powerful, commanding look in her eye.
Mhm.
Like when she talks to Finn in this next bit, I just love it because she's like, "We're doing everything we can, but you have to tell me everything." Like she's very nurturing, but very like forward.
Mhm. You can tell that. Spoiler, obviously. Well, I mean, they've already said it, but with Kylo and everything, you can tell that's definitely had an effect on her and how she handles younger people, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's just. I mean, that's some of the backstory I want to go into. Like, when Kylo was a kid, or Ben was a kid, you know, to see him slowly slip over time and then have that struggle between dark and light.
You've seen that comic with Chewie and him, right?
With Chewie and who?
With Chewie and Kylo when he's a kid.
Oh, yeah, the little comic where he.
That ripped my
flashback.
freaking heart out.
Yeah, right? It shows like little flashbacks with him, and then like he's like aimed at the head and he goes to the shoulder because he still can't kill him.
That's my jacket.
We just had a conversation and oh, that's my jacket.
You saved it. You know what?
ADD.
I already thought it was gone, so you can keep it.
I got a new one now.
Something else I'd like to know is just how long has Leia been in control of this resistance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And this base, very indoor
Oh, yeah.
looking.
This little bit.
Yeah, that was pretty brave.
I think Chewie was probably a hit with the ladies.
Oh yeah. Well, he's got a family. You know,
Yeah.
If you watch the holiday special.
Alright, Sean, thanks. I think we just lost like 11 minutes because you brought that up.
Well, even if you take it as far as the expanded universe or what, you know, the legacy stuff, they do mention his family a few times in some of those books.
He is now a legend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Disney. And R2, I was really missing in the whole movie.
Yeah. It hurts to see him just like sitting there.
Yeah. Kind of makes you think when did they send him off with Luke? how young was
Yeah.
Ben Solo?
And was Luke training him where they were living? Or did Luke initially say, all right, well, I'm going to train him, and if there were other youngins that he was training, or if it was just him, did they go to like a planet that he found that was completely isolated?
Right.
To where that way, if something like that were to happen, no one else is around?
I'd be interested to see like how exactly he trains them, like just how much of it is something that he's come up with,
Right,
compared to how much he actually knows of like the old ways of teaching everything.
Yeah, because he was out looking for the Jedi Temple, so because he never went through Jedi training like Obi-Wan did, or Yoda, or all them, so he's only learned Yoda on Dagobah, and then the rest of it he's kind of just had to figure out on his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely see how he handles training Padawans when he's never been a Padawan nor trained a Padawan before.
Yeah, and just his thoughts on how things were done, because it's such a drastic difference between how he learned. So how much stock does he actually put in it?
Yeah, how much does he like switch up and kind of change? All right, well, this obviously doesn't work.
Another big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a normal looking person.
Just
No
normal
scars, no
Yeah.
nothing.
Because you just expect, with Vader and how that went, that all right, well, something had to have happened, so he's wearing a mask. Oh, he's fine, so he just wears a mask so he can just be like Grandpa.
Yeah.
See, I saw some of the early concept art, and I thought he was going to have like a screwed up face.
Is it just like, I want a mask to have a mask because it's cool to have a mask?
Maybe he's hiding his ears. I kid.
So bringing it back to like the idea that he collects ashes from his victims, like just how morbid that is. That he places his helmet on the
ashes of the dead.
like,
yeah, it's so.
He has
dark.
the severed, burned head of his grandfather. That's yeah. This guy's kind of. Oh, he's got a few screws loose.
Yeah. And it's how far did Luke go into training Ben, and how far did Snoke? Has Snoke done any training to Kylo, or is he just like, oh, I've got this dark side force building user here. I'm gonna go ahead and manipulate him and use him for my good.
I think Snoke's got to have some connection with the dark side.
Yeah.
I don't think even with someone who is not force sensitive telling someone who is, I don't think it would work that way. Kylo would realize that how weak Snoke is, and there would be no more Snoke.
Or maybe Snoke found out about Ben as a kid, and using the Force, since we already know you can use the Force to end life and create life, what if he used it to manipulate him into going a certain direction and kind of setting it up to fail?
And Rey pushing back.
Yeah.
She's starting to figure out she's force sensitive and has some connection. That was a low blow.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a tattletale.
You don't have to take that from a Weasley. It's going to be interesting to see Snoke in person.
Hmm.
And Daniel Craig's cameo right here.
How awesome is that? You're in the studio next door, and you find out they're filming Star Wars in the same building you are. Hey, JJ, can I get a small part?
Tom Hardy's in episode 8.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people are under the assumption that he might play like Boba Fett or something.
Oh, wow.
I heard he's playing a stormtrooper who was in like Ben's platoon.
Who are we talking about?
Tom Hardy.
Played Bane in.
Yeah. This tantrum, right?
I've been there, man.
It's like you feel so scared, and then you watch these guys, and
That would be my reaction.
you're like,
I would walk by that and see that happening. Like,
yeah,
nope,
no, I'm not going by.
I'm going back. I know who's in there, and I don't want to deal with it.
And like, who's the guy that engineered this thing? Because to be able to take power, take all that energy from the sun, harness it through something that's a lot smaller than it, and then channel it into a beam, even several beams.
And what happens to the surrounding systems once that sun is gone?
Yeah, those systems have got to be like
No
destroyed.
more.
Because I mean,
Akbar! Tim Rose is Akbar, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he passed away.
Yes.
It's nice he was able to get back into this suit one more, and do this character again.
Mm-hmm.
The look on Han's face, like, she never says that.
She agreed with me.
I love how they just kind of mentioned that they can cripple it, not that it's going to completely annihilate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
At least he's honest.
This is the second time he's avoided death in this movie. Never tell me the odds. Bro moment right here.
Don't even need words, just, you got this, man.
Right.
Now you tell me.
Do you think he knew he might not come back? Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This look right here.
Yeah. He knows what he has to do.
And look, we get a female trooper other
Mhm.
than Phasma right there.
Yep.
That made me happy seeing female troopers and seeing like female resistance pilots like running through the base. That was just really cool.
Yeah. You've got the female officer earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
I am pulling.
You get so many great moments from Han out of this entire
Yeah.
out of their entire trip to the base, really.
It just shows that he's just as wild as he was when he was younger. He doesn't really care. He just takes risk.
Oh,
He's still the scoundrel we love.
Mm-hmm.
And the relationship between him and Chewie. Well done. Oh. Daddy.
I like that he never refers to him as his dad. He strictly calls him Han Solo.
Yep.
Right.
Which is funny because just like in the real military, yeah, everyone might go out and fight at that one point, but when you're on base, you've got your day job.
Right? Someone's got to take the trash out.
That's not how the Force works.
And honestly, they may have just made him do sanitation so he knows where the trash compactor is, so they could use that whole thing there.
Yeah.
Because if he would have known where it was without, I mean, there's a chance he could have known it. I mean, it's trash compactor.
Dude, that dude got lit.
Yeah.
I like that you get to see the pieces of the armor.
Yeah, break.
Because before, all you've ever really gotten is just like, oh, there might be like a little
Burn marks.
spot on the armor.
Yeah.
To see it actually shatter.
2187. That's a reference again to New Hope.
Also, I just want to know, I think Chewie played college football.
Okay, right here. No. Yeah, right here. You can hear some troopers talk. Pretty sure, again, that's David Collins and Matt Lanter. You'll know Matt Lanter from he did Anakin in the Clone Wars. And they were talking about the T-17, another reference to A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
The movie could have ended right here, y'all. She could have fell.
But since she's so skilled at scavenging,
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably not that far different.
from the Star Destroyer she was climbing on earlier.
It just goes to show that no matter what branch of the Empire it is, they use the same interior decorators.
Yeah. We just like his style. He really understands what we're getting.
It's got to have the black floor.
It's got to be glossy.
A trash compactor. His eyes.
Yeah, there is. So is there a chance they weren't going to give him full authorization? Ace Poe, yeah, you don't got all the clearance, so we're taking back 4 of our ships right now.
Go, girl.
You're on your own, kid.
I'm pretty sure he'd be fine. All by
Like-
himself.
Like in the Family Guy episode, I feel like I can take on the whole empire myself.
Get ready to
Dak's
suck
got
some
this
Dak.
one.
There's that alarm sound.
Yeah. Same sound we hear in the Rogue One trailer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there just is a nod to everything that's going on within Kylo.
Yeah.
As long as there's light in him, he's good. He's not completely evil.
Yeah, that's
But
another.
once the light escapes, literally and figuratively, he's become completely dark.
That's another thing I liked about this movie is in the past, or the prequels, for instance, it was Anakin going from light to dark. And then here, it's the exact opposite, which I don't think we've ever seen that in any Star Wars at all.
Maybe a tad with Vader, specifically in Jedi, but not to the
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah, like he's struggling with the light side. He definitely wants to get with her.
I love this scene right here. Just like, it's cold out there. Take the jacket.
The look on Han's face is like, what?
That's their friendship. That was perfect.
Wasn't that Carrie Fisher's daughter,
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
the blonde girl?
I'm
Yeah.
like talking about the alien. I jumped the gun on that one.
That's what I say. That's a low blow, man.
That's a super low.
Not the hedgehog, no.
Yeah. Oh, Finn gave Ray his jacket.
Chivalry exists in the galaxy far, far away.
This room just gives me the chills knowing what happens,
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the book, the line Han says to Chewie, or no, he says that line, but the author, the way they set the mood was like, Han said, "We'll meet back here," but the look in his eyes knew that would be the last for time. That would be for the last time. I can't talk today.
Damn. Solo.
They booked it up this ladder too.
The back of Kylo's helmet's just very reminiscent of Vader's
Very.
in the shape of it.
I remember in the theater watching this part. My heart was racing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I knew something was about to happen.
Yeah.
There was a very eerie calm in my theater.
Yeah. And when he yells Ben,
It's such a quiet scene too.
yeah. We got jacket back.
Makes you wonder just how long it's been since
Since he
they've
saw
seen
his
each other,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
There are those ears.
Like, has he not seen him since, like, he was, like, a teenager or something? Or has it only been, 5 years or so?
How great are both of them in this scene, though, acting-wise?
I don't think it could have done any better.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. It's perfect.
He's about to start crying.
I love like how they've got the red on one side and the white on one side on Kylo's face.
Yeah.
The conflicted nature.
And that's got to be hard for Han, hearing him say that. He's being torn apart. As a father,
Yeah.
that's got to suck.
You want to do whatever you can to make your children's life easier, but having to deal with the Force and the battle between dark side and light side definitely isn't something that's easy to deal
No.
with. It's like he dropped the helmet. All right, you don't really know how he feels right now.
You can see some of the hope in Han's face.
And then as the light fades,
Is there a struggle here? Or can you definitely tell that Kylo
stabs him.
ignites the saber?
It makes you wonder, like, was Han pushing on it?
Yeah, who ignited the saber?
Yeah.
Was it Han or Kylo?
Because he says, I know what I have to do.
But he can't.
Yeah.
And this is Han's way of saying, I'll give you the push so Snoke thinks you're going to
This little bit right here,
Yeah.
when he puts his hand on his face.
Yeah. It's like a father would do whatever he can to make his son happy,
Just that gesture that Han makes. For me, it was that last of you're not like this. I still love you.
Yeah, he refused to accept the bad that he was. He wanted him to.
Man, Chewie wasn't having it.
And here's the thing, though, to factor into the upcoming fight. Kylo just took a shot from the bowcaster that was throwing stormtroopers off
Yeah,
of their
he's
feet,
got
and
this
he
serious
just drops. And he just drops to his knees. Talk about strength.
Amen.
And look, he leaves his helmet.
Yeah.
I think that the woman who said they're about to fire in 2 minutes had a very similar vest to Han's.
And see now, as you can tell, we're in the area that she saw in her vision earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy is this is all inside of a soundstage.
That is crazy. It's like a freaking serial killer.
Yep.
It's just us now.
And he starts beating himself.
Yeah, like trying to create more pain so he can get angrier.
Yeah. I love the sound his saber makes when he starts swinging it around.
Yeah, because you have like the main blade making its sound, then you have the two guards on the side making its little whoosh.
There's one thing that JJ finally did that I've been wanting them to do since the prequels. Lightsabers are a light source. I want catch light on people's faces. Obviously, they couldn't have done it back in the day, and they kind of did it one shot in Attack of the Clones, but this just makes it even more real to me.
Yeah, because it's so... all you see in the background is black and white.
Yeah.
And the only color is the blue and red with their sabers, and a little bit of color on Finn's clothes, but...
that's gotta hurt.
A lot of people complained about like how long Finn actually lasted in this fight. But like I don't know, from my standpoint, you can obviously tell that he's holding back, he's toying with him because he doesn't see him as a threat until he actually manages to cut him, and then he's just done with it.
This right here with the music cue. Or go ahead.
No, I'm good.
You know, and like also just like with Traitor earlier, I mean he was able to combat against the lightsaber. So who's to say that somewhere within their training they have like sword combat training or something like that, to where they have some knowledge of it.
Especially with the guy being from the same unit as him.
Mm-hmm.
I just love. Or go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, they both kind of they went through the same training. So if one can do it, the other's bound to be able to do it. You know.
Yeah.
Rey's fighting. I know she never held a lightsaber in her life, but it kind of reminded me of Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. How he liked to jab.
Yeah.
Rey did that a lot.
I got just the thing about this lightsaber fight. I know people kind of gripes that for what it was, but I love how raw it is. This is a guy who has had training doing this. You've got one guy who has had a form of physical combat training, and then Rey, who's just basically learned from just defending herself. And it's very intimate. It's very personal. I like that. Also, I love the music cue that they play from A New Hope when she catches the lightsaber.
Yes.
Because it's when in A New Hope, it's when Luke finds his aunt and uncle have been murdered.
It's kind of that signal that you're on to the next step.
Yeah. You've taken your first step into the larger world.
We got another treasure run. Poe's being a glory hound.
I love all the wide shots.
Yeah. It's great to see like a lot of different environments being blown up and like everything being torn around them, and just seeing that they're just so into this fight that it's like they're just going to fight to the death, because obviously this planet is dying around them, but they're not stopping it one bit.
Yeah.
Seeing this whole thing in 3D was a good experience, especially with all those wide shots.
Oh yeah.
Because it wasn't a gimmicky 3D like, oh, this is gonna come straight at you. It was.
No, it just added more depth to everything.
Yeah, like the Star Destroyers just come a little off the screen and start to slowly pass by.
Yeah.
It's more form.
It's like when Kylo stops the blaster bolt midair.
Yeah.
Even the catchlight in their eyes, that's so cool.
I never really looked at that.
Well, I mean, it just shows how the actual sabers they fought with on set were illuminated.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch. All of this.
Yeah, and then we're going back and just painting frames one by one.
Yeah.
And so yes, Kylo is battle. He's got some damage done to him because he's been shot. He's been nicked a few times by the saber. He's still bleeding out, but yet he is still putting up this fight. I mean, yeah, she's, and just to go for her, you know, it shows how much she's able to just channel the Force so quickly to be able to combat this person who's been training in the Force for who knows how many years.
Yeah.
I had a thought too with that, but do you think Kylo may have been going slightly or holding back a little bit on her just because he knows her potential? Kind of like Vader didn't
Right,
want to
he
kill
wanted-
Luke.
Yeah, like maybe, okay, well, if I don't kill her, maybe I can convince her to join me.
Yeah.
But again, it's like the Force itself is its own character when you think about it. Because the
Yeah.
Force is always doing whatever it can to keep things in balance. So you saw that as soon as Kylo went down and she had the upper hand, the ground separated between them.
Yeah.
You know, the Force wasn't, it was like, okay, all right, they've met, they fought, now they need to go off and they need to become what they're supposed to become. Or that just may be me looking too much into it. I don't know.
No, I
That makes
completely agree.
sense.
All this stuff is clearly intentional from especially like from J.J. Abrams' perspective. He did not do any of this just for the hell of it.
Yeah, they said they cut out a lot. I just like to see, you know, the cut of the movie with every scene in there from the original, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many special editions do you think we're going to get?
We're going to get, I say, at least one more Force Awakens special edition on its own, and then we'll get another one whenever the three are saga or bundled together.
And then they have the 9-pack.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that the one girl pilot made it.
And the big dude made it.
Yeah. Porkins would be pleased.
Yeah. It's his great-great-grandson.
I like the subtle use of lens flares. Like it's not over the top, but it looks like what would flare up if you were using the lenses that those cameras had.
Right. Yeah, JJ said that he's realized from Star Trek how much he overly used.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you see the pink droid, the R2 unit?
Yeah, that's R2KT, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Do you know the story of R2KT, Matt?
It's a tribute to a girl who died of cancer, right?
Yeah, the R2 Builders Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they built it for her, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they had her in. That droid is in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Has its own. They made an action figure, and then now it's in the Force Awakens.
I think that's cool. That's like the ultimate nod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's taking the fan and transcending them into the legacy that is Star Wars.
Yeah, and they actually used a team of the R2 builders to build multiple R2 units or droids.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. They reached out to the fans, the people that have been. I mean, because the R2 Builders Club, they've been going hard for it. They know, just like the 501st, they know how to make trooper armor. Those guys know how to build an R2 unit like it's nothing.
Yeah. It kind of bothered me that Leia didn't
Hug Chewie.
hug Chewie
Yeah.
or pat him on the back or anything like that. She went straight to Rey.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, is there something going on between them two that would be more important than her losing her husband
Right?
and Chewie losing his best friend?
Mm-hmm.
You see, that to me kind of points towards the whole rumor that she might be Luke's daughter.
Yeah.
Because obviously Leia has some sort of connection to her.
Mm-hmm.
R2 wakes up when she arrives.
Right. It's like, so as soon as, Luke was probably like, all right, as soon as Rey arrives, that's when you can give them the map. But they're not ready until she's here.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Or even the idea of, there's such an idea of a droid's ability to, with all these emotions that they have in this universe, there's a very real possibility that it sensed something of Luke.
Right here, Finn gets friend zone.
I'm wondering just like the extent of his injuries.
Yeah. Like, is he going to have like an exoskeleton suit now or something? Because, I mean, he got sliced right on his spine.
Yeah. And Kylo Ren as well. I mean, it's hard to make out exactly what injuries he does have.
Mm-hmm.
His face is pretty messed up.
We know he's got the stab into his shoulder. He's got the gash across his face. But we see a few other pieces fly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
And he got shot.
yeah.
Now that Chewie's life debt is, I guess, paid off, do you think he's just staying behind because this is what he knows instead of going back?
He's staying for his family. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this has become his home.
This is where he belongs.
He's put so. And this scene right here, this is one that have went more into that they did in the book, because in the book, Chewie is still standing up. Motions for the captain's seat, and Chewie's like, "Oh no, your seat. I'm your co-pilot."
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice to kind of see that play out.
3PO's got his arm back.
Yep. It's like this other red guy showed up. He's like, "Oh, you got a gold arm? I got a red
Trade
arm.
arms.
Trade arms, bro." And I love how much we see inside hyperspace in this one.
Mm-hmm. I know that obviously this is what's coming up here, but I actually like that they held off Luke until the end. Like, he's the MacGuffin of the movie.
Right, the way they told the story, totally. I like how they did it with Luke.
I mean, I wish he would have said something.
Yeah, the line or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, he said stuff during Rey's vision.
I kind of like that he doesn't say anything though, because it gives you're not distracted by what he's saying. just completely looking at his reaction, and his reaction to seeing his own
How he physically
lightsaber is
looks.
just, he just looks, he's got this look on his face of just, I can't do this again.
See,
Yeah,
I saw it as, oh God, it's happening.
Is this real life?
He's just not, he doesn't feel ready for it.
He's not ready, but he knows the time has come.
Now this island that they're on is, I'm pretty sure, off the coast of Ireland. And these steps, it's all real.
Yeah.
You could go to this place and find the first Jedi temple.
They they were only allowed to have 50 people on the island, and they all were flown in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this actually used to be. I think it was a retreat for religious captives, wasn't it?
That's not right.
Because they talked about it a good bit in the behind the scenes.
I kind of want Luke to go full on Yoda with it and just act completely insane for the first part of the training, where she's just like, why did I even come here? Like,
Yeah, like make her start like, all right, do I really want to be here and train with him, or do I want to go off with Kylo? You know, was Kylo right? Are the Jedi bad? You know, like what?
I like how she's still carrying her staff.
yeah.
She's got a lightsaber now. She doesn't need that thing.
I'm wondering how that'll
She
play
needs to earn the
in
saber.
her actual build.
Yeah, if she's gonna end up rocking a. We're gonna get a Jedi with the dual-bladed
Yeah.
saber.
Oh, nice. I would love that. I didn't think about that, but that's perfect for her character.
Did you find a hand with it? There was a hand.
I like that you can see like the little glint of tears in Luke's eyes.
Yeah.
All right, there it was. Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Real quick, how many times do you guys see this when it was in theaters?
In theaters, I saw it 5 times.
Same here.
3, I think.
I got y'all beat.
Yeah,
I saw it 6.
6, nice.
I saw it 6 times.
Do you know how many times you've watched it since it's come out on Blu-ray?
No, I've lost count. Because it came out digitally before
First,
it came
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times when it came out digitally. I was like, need it, got it.
Yeah.
Can I share a little personal thing real quick?
Go for it.
One of my earliest and most fond memories, because my father passed away when I was 7, and one of my fondest memories was sitting down and watching the original trilogy with my parents. And each time, I thought this is I'm not a religious person by any means, but something about this just stuck out to me. But every time I went to see this movie in the theater, I thought of my dad, because he and Harrison Ford are actually would be the same age. But every time I saw it in the theater, there was always a seat open next to me. I didn't plan it that way. It was never like we didn't just put stuff there. There was just always a seat open, and it always felt very warm. Like I remember, like I think it was the second time I saw it. It was just me and my mom. Like my stepdad, he said he wanted to see it, but he had to do something that day, and my mom couldn't wait any longer. And it was really touching that it not just all 5 times that happened, but that one time when my mom and I saw it together, that there was that one seat open, like he was there.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
That's really cool. Because Star Wars has been a part of millions of people's lives, and that's, just hearing that story. I saw your figure that you did, where you kind of had Han's body, but you had a different kind of head, and you said it reminded you of your dad, and I thought that was really cool.
There's a thanks, yeah. It's kind of funny because like you were talking about how Star Wars has affected so many lives. For me personally, after my dad passed, the thing that kept me from being just a complete wreck was just going and rewatching Star Wars and just jumping into like Indiana Jones, just jumping into the things that I was passionate about, like my interests, and to just see it come full circle. I mean, like that's the reason I went to pursue film, is because film kept me going. You know, they always say it's an escape for people, and it was that for me, and I know it's that for a lot of people. But jumping to the figure for a second, I bought a second Force Awakens, like one of those 6-inch Black Series Han Solo figures, and there's a shot in a movie that came out around this time last year, called Age of Adeline, that Harrison Ford was in, and obviously I don't have a visual to show you guys right now, but the way Harrison Ford looks in that movie, and the way my dad looked, like I could put photos next to each other. It's kind of weird how much they looked alike, and that image just kind of they're stuck in my head for a while. And then when I got the figure, I got the first one that I got, and I took it out of the box and looked at it, and everything was geeking out. And I thought, I'm kind of in this whole customizing thing. I need to do something different. And so I got a second one, and I corrected the hair color first, but then I painted a beard on him as my dad had it, and then I found some glasses from another figure, and so I made my dad as Han Solo because Harrison Ford was kind of almost my movie dad after my dad passed, just to I don't know, that was kind of what I always saw, like what a man should be, not like, you see in a lot of other crap. And I don't know, just to see that come full circle is just a big deal.
Yeah, that's really cool that Star Wars connects with you that way. That's cool that it helps you kind of, it helps you get through life.
Yeah, it was there when I needed something like that, and I know it's been like that for other people. They have, I don't know, like I forgot what his name was, but the guy who was dying of brain cancer before Force Awakens came out, and JJ got him. He sent some people over with a screener so he could see it.
Yeah.
It's just like that just shows that these are more than just movies.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, I think that was even a different cut. That was like an early rough cut of the film. So.
I wonder how different it was.
He literally got to see a one of a kind film that no other fan is able to.
Yeah.
So is there anyone has anything to say for post commentary before we sign off?
I'm good. I got nothing.
All right. Mike, you good?
I think we're all set.
How are you, Matt?
We've got 2 more of these, and the expanded universe movies that are happening. Mm-hmm. I say these are our first steps.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing more commentaries and definitely more Star Wars commentaries because we've got Rogue One, 8 and 9 coming, and then another standalone. So if there's anything that anyone out there wants us to do a commentary for, by all means, just let us know. We'll do it because, we want to do things that y'all are interested too. That Star Wars is something that we all connect on, and we know that a lot of people out there, a lot of our fans enjoy Star Wars. So that's why we thought it was just right to start off with The Force Awakens. The podcast awakens. Well, until next time, I'm the other Luke.
I'm the other host.
I'm Sherlock Colvin.
And I'm Mike.
May the Force be with you.